We're trying to make $6,000 in 1 month with DoorDash and Uber Eats. So far, we've made around $4,600, so we are getting very close. It is Tuesday, April 25th, and we're done at the end of April, so we need to make a lot of money in these next like 5 or 6 days. I'm out here at 5 p.m., got my first one for oregano's for $13.25. I really thought this was going to be a really good order because when I accepted it, it said 16 items, but then after I accepted and I looked at the list of items, it did say that like 9 of them were sauces, and so that kind of got me worried, but we're still gonna deliver it anyway. I was feeling a little bit concerned because when I walked into the store, it didn't look like the order was ready, so I asked one of the employees. They went back in the kitchen to check on the order, and turns out it actually was ready. They didn't bring it to the actual place where they put the finished orders, so that's all right. All right, we got 2 pizzas in there, and that bag is completely full. It's not as big as I thought it was gonna be. I thought I was gonna have to use that one, but guess not. Because of the rush hour traffic right now at 5:30 p.m., it's taking me 12 minutes to get to the customer. Usually it probably would take like 8. So we got it dropped off, and unfortunately, we are not going to receive more than $13.25. You just never know with these types of orders. Sometimes they have massive payouts. I'm thinking of the first order I received in the previous video that I posted on this channel, which was yesterday for me. Like, such an amazing order. And this one, I thought it could go up to like over $20, and that's just not the case. $13.25 there. Now we are working on another DoorDash order. This one is for $10 for Persian room. I was hesitant to accept this one, even though it's $10 for 4 miles, putting me in a nice location. But sometimes this restaurant, it kind of takes a while for the orders to be ready. But I accepted it anyway, and we walk in there, and it is ready. So that is very good news for me, that if I had to wait like 5 or 10 minutes to receive that one, like that's just gonna cut into my earnings a lot, especially because I'm not working too many hours today, probably just right around 4 from like 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And now we're off to drop it off. I don't think we're gonna get more than $10, probably just that. So we'll be at $23.25 once we get this delivered, and then hopefully we can get either a good DoorDash order or a good Uber Eats order after. Almost immediately after I got it dropped off, they had enough time to look inside the bag, and they realized they didn't have one of their items. It was the hummus. And so they said, I guess it might have been the first time they'd ever like not received an item. And so they reached out to me by text and just said like, hey, we didn't get our hummus. And I sent the message that I always send to people. It's like, hey, like if you contact DoorDash support, they'll be able to refund you for that missing item. But like, it's just like really sad. I've been getting a lot of these messages lately, and I really don't think like that's my fault. Like I always I check the bags, and I'm like, okay, like if there's 7 items in here, I'm like, okay, it kind of looks like 7 items. Or if it's like there's 2 items, I'm always looking if there's a drink or there's like something on the side. Like I'm always trying to do my best to make sure that all of the items are there. But I think it's just becoming like more popular, at least for me, like that restaurants will just forget a bunch of items, and it's upsetting because it kind of makes like me and like all the other drivers look bad, when really like that's the restaurant's responsibility. Like, yeah, we can do our best, but like especially with most of these restaurants, when they have like the bags like stapled or taped up, like we can't even get into that bag at all to count the items. So like I want the restaurants to do a little bit better. So anyway, we're moving on to a sauce pizza order. This one was, I believe it was $12.50 when I accepted it. The mileage is pretty high, 6.9 miles. It's definitely a lot further than I would like to go, but it is a Tuesday night. You can't really like be too picky on Tuesdays. That's what I found out, because it's probably going to be like the slowest day in your area, either Tuesday or Wednesday. So this is all right. This is gonna put me over like $35 in the first like hour and a half, so I think we're doing all right. That drive to the customer was actually a lot faster than what I thought it would be. I think I hit like all the green lights basically, so that was really nice. And then we had to drive back to the hotspot. It took like took like 6 minutes to do that. And then we got one for Jersey Mike's. This one is for $7.50 for just 2 miles. So payout's lower than some of the other orders we've been getting, but distance is also significantly shorter. So it works out. Or so I thought. We go to Jersey Mike's, the order is not ready. Okay, no big deal. I think they're working on another order, so that's all right. But I said the customer's name, and then they're like, okay, yeah, let me just make that really fast. And so they pretty much got it finished up, and then I noticed there was just one sandwich and not two. There's two on my order. They only made one, and I was like, there's two sandwiches on that one, and he looks at it, and he's like, oh yeah, like this is your customer's name, right? But there are two Patricks, basically. That's what had happened, and mine was the one that they did not make, so I had to have them make it, and it was ready like 10 minutes after. Yeah, 10 minutes after the pickup time. So I was waiting there for like 15 minutes, unfortunately, but we're dropping it off right now. I really hope Uber picks up. Yesterday, things picked up right around like 7 p.m. So it's getting close to that time. So hopefully it happens. Uber Eats was able to send me a pretty decent order. It was for Target for $16. I just had to shop for 4 items, and it wasn't that difficult. The soap was probably the hardest to find. It was just in one of the household supplies aisles, but I knew where the toilet paper was, and I knew where the soda was, so it was pretty quick and easy. Checkout was even like pretty simple because I just used the self-checkout. And now we're on our way to go drop it off. I really hope that we get this done in less than 35 minutes. That's what Uber estimated it to be. I really think that it should be. And if this order is going to a really confusing, really difficult apartment complex, but I think that they said in the order notes that they're going to meet me outside, so that's going to help a lot. So after this one, I'll be very close to $60. I don't think I'll be there yet, but I wanted to make $100, at least $100 before this day started, and I think we can do it. It's not like, it's slightly worse than what I was expecting out here, but I think 100 should be no problem. We were able to get that one dropped off, and I was a little bit worried that they weren't going to meet me on the outside of the building. I was going to have to like use the gate code and the door code and get up to the 3rd floor for that, but no, very easy drop off, and I was able to get that done in about 23 minutes. And as you can see, the base pay here is $8.09, and that's before the tip comes in, and the tip could be higher than $8, so I might get more than $16.09, but if we don't, then we are, yeah, just under $60 for the day. We now know that we got an $11 tip for that order, not $8, so it ended up being $19.09. And then it was time to make our way back to the hotspot to see what we could get. I was actually driving away from this restaurant when I got it, but it was $17. Mileage is high, bringing me far outside of my area, something that I do not like, but it was $17. So I was like, nah, it'll only take me like 10 minutes to get back to like any hotspot, maybe like 12 minutes, but I was like, all right, that's fine, and I accepted it. And then like 1 minute later, as I had made a U-turn and started driving towards that restaurant, I got an add-on for Panda Express, $9.50 here. Both of these orders were pretty high paying, and a chance of at least one hidden tip, possibly 2, sounded very good to me. And yes, it pulled me so far away. Kind of a ridiculous distance, like I hardly ever go over there, but I know that at least the first order had like a $19 tip on it, which is just, it's just crazy. I mean, they didn't order that much food. It was from an expensive place, but really not that much food. And then the second one, I don't know, the tip is still coming in, so we'll have to see. We actually know now that the second order also had a hidden tip. So for those 2 orders, we got $42. So insane. I'm very happy I accepted that. And it only took me 36 minutes to complete the orders from start to finish. And then moving on to the next one, I was worried I was going to have to drive like at this point, because the second order took me like even further away from my hotspot. So I was thinking I was going to have to drive at least 15 minutes just to get back in the area where there might be some orders. But it turns out that like 4 minutes later, I got a massive order, $24 here. Yeah, the mileage is pretty high, like 11 or 12 miles, but that's bringing me right to a good area. So how can I complain about that? That's so perfect. So the first order, there was only one item. It was just one pizza and it was ready. And then the second one, so I had to drive like 3 miles to the first restaurant, 3 miles to the second restaurant, and it was just one item for payway. And so we got that one picked up as well, and it was ready, of course. And then we made it to the first customer. It was like a 4 or 5 mile drive, and then the other one was like a 2 mile drive. So easy. It said 37 minutes estimate for Uber, but we got it done in like 30, and we're still waiting for the tips to come in, but I think we made around like $24 for that one. I was wondering if things would be slowing down because it was right around 8:30 p.m. I don't know how late people are ordering food. I don't know how many good orders are out there. There were quite a few bad ones, like $4 or $5, rejected like 15 of those, and then got one for $8.50 going in the direction that I already wanted to be driving. So it just works out. It was just sitting there right on the shelf when I walked in the door. How great is that? And then we just went to an apartment complex. And I was thinking we might be done. I was thinking, all right, it's almost 9 p.m. at this point. Like, can there really be a good order? I was just sitting at Cold Stone, just hanging out. But then this happened. An Uber Eats order for $10 going like 1.5 miles. That is just crazy. I don't know if we're going to get more than $10, but there is a pretty decent chance that we will. So I actually don't know how much money we've made so far, but we do have $51 from DoorDash, and from Uber so far, I believe it's like right around like $100, $139 at least for the day in just about 4 hours for a Tuesday night. That is crazy solid. And so for the entire month of April, we have done $4,800, or about 80% of the way there. So we only need to make 20% left in the final 5 days of this challenge. I think we can do it. $1,200 in 5 days. That is a very doable goal right there. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to check out any other videos in the playlist, it'll be right there, and I'll see you next time.